So if you see that and you see 3 years of experience on a job posting and you don't have it and you don't apply, then I mean that's your own fault for not taking the shot. All right, everybody, buckle in because we've got a controversial topic today. I've had this, topic requested to me a couple times by my friends. I've talked about it deeply with my friends. I've seen it all over the internet, and I feel like there's a pretty simple answer to this that a lot of people just, don't seem to understand, and people are never going to understand. But fun topic to talk about, anyways, and that's why entry-level jobs are going to require experience now. So, kind of to jump into the article that I've chosen today. I'll get that up on screen. All right. Entry-level jobs, once the traditional way to start off your career, are now few and far between. The pandemic has disrupted all levels of work, of course, but postings for entry-level jobs in particular took a nosedive in 2020, dropping nearly 68%, a Glassdoor economic research study shows. This isn't a new trend, however, but one that has been gaining momentum since the Great Recession in 2008, according to a recent Courts at Work article, when companies cut costs by reducing low-level positions for newcomers and recent graduates. And I'm not going to blame companies for doing that, though, because in the middle of the pandemic, when they're crashing and tanking, like, who are they going to lay off first? Are they going to lay off their most senior executives, or are they going to take the, more plentiful but, expensive at that jobs that are lower level? Probably going to take those. The problem is not only economic in nature, but reflects a fundamental shift in workforce expectations. Employers today are seeking an all-in-one, fully knowledgeable employees that don't require much on-the-job training. There are plenty of bright, capable candidates ready to begin their careers, but higher education workforce programs and employers have struggled to link the classroom education to the demands of the world of work. And part of this is because college doesn't teach you to go to your job. According to the Courts at Work article, author Kristen Titus, who serves as executive director of the Cognizant U.S. Foundation, on its website, the foundation is described as working with organizations to prepare people of all ages to succeed in the workforce of today and tomorrow. A 2018 study by the Society for Human Resource Management, SHRM, of 95,000 job postings found that 61% of entry-level positions required at least three years of experience, pushing hands-on learning that most young professionals in the world gain in their first few years in the workforce into skills that they must hone in while balancing their college workload. Now, I feel like that is a misleading statistic. Not that I'm going to disagree with SHRM, because SHRM is overall a pretty reputable source, but the thing is, a lot of these entry-level jobs, at a base are going to require some experience somewhere. It doesn't necessarily mean directly related to the position that you're going for, but like if you're going for a client-facing role in like sales, let's say, and all you did is go to school, you don't learn sales from school. That's not a skill that you learn by just, listening to a teacher do a lecture. It doesn't work like that. You need some level of customer service experience, because sales is not a fun job. It's a tough job, and it takes a lot of time and effort to be successful, right? So sales jobs, just as an example, require X amount of years of experience for entry-level positions that could be related to it. Now, the thing is about entry-level jobs that, a lot of people don't seem to understand is that work experience in most cases can be flexible, right? So just because it says 3 years of experience doesn't mean that if you apply, you're not going to get a call back because you don't have 3 years of experience, right? So if you see that and you see 3 years of experience on a job posting and you don't have it and you don't apply, then I mean that's your own fault for not taking the shot. That's just my thoughts on it. But continuing on here, there are more jobs available in the United States than people officially considered unemployed, yet the unemployment rate among recent college graduates, those ages 22 to 27, who are either unemployed or in jobs that don't require their education and skills, remains at over 40%, according to the U.S. Department of Labor. Sherm noted at the time, as of May 2020, the underemployment rate still hovered at 39%, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And that is also, I feel like, a pretty misleading statistic. People go for a lot of useless degrees. I can name a bunch off the top of my head, but for the sake of not being controversial, I won't. Communications, actually, I'll say one is one of my favorite communications majors. They do absolutely everything under the sun. But people get their degree and then don't use it for their profession all the time. And it's just very, kind of funny to hear that argument, because it's just laughable. Like, continuing on though, with responsibility placed on universities to prepare students for the working world, on-the-job training has gone down, with only 30% of middle market firms currently partnering with their educational or training organizations, according to the Brookings Institute. For many employees, taking on leadership role in workforce development will require changes in prior practice, the Brookings Institute said in a 2019 story reflecting the skills gap. Fundamentally, employers must identify and signal the skills they need, as well develop mechanisms to recruit, train, and retain employees. However, many employers are not prepared to do so. The answer: education should not end where someone receives a diploma. Employers in higher education must determine together what skills matter in most in today's workplace, clearly communicate to learners and workers the importance of those skills, and provide employees with opportunities for continual growth and development, Titus wrote. And part of this too is there are a lot of organizations and companies out there that provide incentives for their employees to continue their education, to get certain certifications that will help them further their career, and it's in benefits packages, and people just don't utilize their benefits, which is also kind of another piece there. So not completely trying to dismantle this article, but some of it's kind of funny. Titus pointed to some innovative approaches taken by organizations to help recent grads succeed, including CodePath, which works with employers and higher education institutions to redesign computer science curriculums to help find underrepresented talent jobs in technology. Blah 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 blah. It is critical that employers do not filter out promising employees simply because they were not given the right guidance or opportunities to graduate as fully formed dream employees. A lack of skills, she wrote, is not a lack of talent, and the employer should work to identify promising candidates and provide them with the training they need to get up to speed. I'm also going to disagree with that. I feel like it is fully the candidate's responsibility to come in with the skills that they need for a position. Now, I'm not saying every single skill. There are some things that can be trained on, right? But if you have to learn absolutely everything about a job and you have no applicable experience, that is not the fault of the employer. That is the fault of the candidate. Now, to hop into the reason why entry-level jobs require experience. And I always like to bring this back to healthcare in a sense, because I feel like the argument makes a lot of sense, right? Look at healthcare professions, and I mentioned this a little bit in my last video about how I'm a really big proponent of like nursing and healthcare in general, like direct hands-on healthcare being a really good career. You have to do a lot to become a healthcare professional. And generally speaking, let's just look at an RN, for example. You have to do essentially 2 years of on-the-job training while you're pursuing your RN to actually become an RN, right? And if you want to go into a certain field, that should be the exact same thing across the board. If you're studying computer science or like computer engineering, etc., why should a company hire you if you have absolutely zero experience in the field compared to the person who went to school and got the same degree that you did, but also decided to take initiative and take a bottom of the barrel role for 2 years while they were in school to learn and then utilize those skills once they graduate school? So the reason that entry-level positions now require experience is because employers don't need to have the responsibility of bringing you all the way up to speed for a position. If you're entering a high-demand field, you should take the initiative to learn the skills that you need to get in order to be where you want to be. If you want to be at a top level firm in your field, well, the top level firms are going to require a pretty extensive resume to get there. And the other piece to this too is entry level at one organization or company could be like mid level, or in some cases like senior level at another organization. Like if you take a CEO of a company that has 50 people and maybe, let's say, $10 million of revenue a year, that is absolutely not going to be a CEO at a company that has 10,000 plus employees and like billions upon billions of dollars of revenue every year. It's a completely different level. So, the other piece to get with that is, if you're taking that at the senior level, senior leadership level of things, entry level at one organization is not the same as entry level at another organization or company. So it also depends on where you're looking too. So that goes back to the exact argument that I just mentioned. If you're looking to be at a top level firm or a huge firm or like some large company that's going to be huge for your career, you have to have a good resume to get into it. There's just no question about that, because they're competitive. They're going to take the best of the best candidates, and that's just how it goes. And I see this all the time on Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Entry level positions require too much experience. How am I supposed to get experience while I've been going to school? Get a job. Go part-time. If you want to get ahead, that's what you have to do. That's what the market demands now. I had to do an internship. I worked for 4 years, 50 hours a week, going to school full-time. It's not fun. But all the people that I know that were working while they were in school and busting their butt instead of going to parties are now ahead. So there's a reason for that. I could go on in my rant forever, but if I offended you, too bad. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe.